say it take a village to raise a child, but what if the village is retarded?
What's going on? Today we're going to be talking about why the oligarchs and the plutocrats are punking you. Okay. Basically, this is basically all the ways you are brainwashed. Okay. This is primarily about you being brainwashed. Okay. Primarily by the idiot box and social media, right? So I'm gonna get right into this article here. This is a pretty good article, and it explains some things. Let's see here. All right. Let's just get my headphones on.
First month free, actually. So
okay, I mean, can't say no to free month.
I'm back. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Had some technical difficulties. Need just a second here. Had some technical difficulties. I've got kicked off my own stream. All right. So let me see here. Okay. Yeah, that'll work. Let's change this up here. There we go. All right. There we go. All right. So let me open this article up. Let me get this article back. Lost it here. Let's get this going here. Da-da-da. So a lot of you probably don't know what an oligarch is and a plutocrat is. We're gonna find that out today. We're gonna get right into this here, and then I'm gonna go over 5 ways you're getting punked. Okay. What's the difference between plutocracy and oligarchy? Here's what they mean. All right. Let's play this video first off. I played this before. Let's play this again. And it's gonna be some commercials, I guess. Or I don't know. Maybe I already watched the commercials.
I'm equally.
Hold on, let me share my screen again. Let's see here. Having some lag. There we go. There's Mr. Biden. All right. So let me play this here again from the start here.
It can pose real dangers for our country as well. An avalanche of misinformation and disinformation, enabling the abuse of power.
This window out here. All right. All right. It says oligarchy is a type of government where authority is concentrated in the hands of a few individuals. These individuals may be distinguished by nobility, fame, wealth, education, or influence in corporate, religious, political, or military realms. Okay. So that's what an oligarchy is. Now, let's go into basically what a plutocracy is. A plutocracy is a form of government in which the power is held by the wealthy. In this system, those with significant financial resources influence or control political decisions. Wealth rather than merit or other forms of authority become the primary basis of for power and governance. So we basically could say the United States is an oligarchical plutocracy. Okay, oligarchical plutocracy. Now, to be fair, a lot of countries are oligarchical plutocracies. United States, United States is not unique in that regard. Um, so this is the two definitions here. Okay, um, basically these are the different types of forms of government here. I'll post this in the chat real quick, and then also let me post this in the chat, and then let's actually want to also eventually load that on my blog or my Facebook page rather. So these is what you're dealing with. Okay, so you're dealing with oligarchical plutocracy, oligarchical plutocracy. Okay, so let's go right into why these people are punking you, and you're following for it because you're an egotistical idiot. Okay, that's why you're following for it. You're an egotistical idiot. All right, so basically, let's get right into it. Why you falling for the okey doke? All right, number 5. And then again, this is you're being programmed. So this is the basis of this is you're being programmed, you're being brainwashed. Okay, so that's all you need to know. All right, so you're being brainwashed to think lowly of yourself. Okay, you're being brainwashed to think lowly of yourself. Okay, so um pushing you, I'll just say pushing you to think lowly of yourself. All right, so this is the first order of business. Now um you're being brainwashed to do this, right? To think lowly of yourself. How is the brainwashing working? The media. So media is your news cycle, your social media also, and also your music. Okay, you're listening to music. um if basically on the radio is forcing you, it's programming you to be thinking lowly of yourself. Also your peer group, right? Your peer group is also uh a culprit in that regard, forcing you to think lowly of yourself, and you're following for it because you want to be accepted. And the thing is, the trick is here is that uh you're following, like, this is unique to me, right? The unique part about this is where it gets really interesting. I'll tell you why it's interesting in a second. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna play a short commercial. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna show you why it's like interesting that you're falling for this.
Welcome to alsherbs.com, the oasis for your wellness journey. Our mission is to promote good health and reduce the risk of disease by providing a holistic approach to well-being. From the soothing scent of lavender to the invigorating kick of ginseng, we've got you covered with a wide array of herbs, supplements, and wellness products. Imagine the power of nature, harnessed and delivered right to your doorstep. That's the alsherbs.com promise, and it's a promise we're proud to keep. Shopping at alsherbs.com has truly transformed my life, says one of our satisfied customers. The quality of their products is unmatched, and I've never felt better. And she's not alone. Countless individuals have found a one-stop shop for all their wellness needs at alsherbs.com. It's made a world of difference in my life, another customer shares. And what's the secret to our success? It's simple. We believe in the power of holistic wellness, and we're committed to providing the best products to support your journey. Whether you're boosting your immune system, seeking natural remedies, or enhancing your fitness routine, we have everything you need. The path to a healthier, happier life is just a click away. Visit alsherbs.com today and experience the transformative power of nature. Take the first step towards a vibrant, fulfilling lifestyle. alsherbs.com, where your wellness journey begins. Improving lives, one herb at a time. Your wellness oasis awaits.
All right. So what's going on, my brother? Salute, salute. So you following for this because basically and then also I have to put this addendum out here. You know, you kind of going into how I think. These are my opinions. This is how I think. You might agree with it, you might not. Okay, so I'm just gonna put that out there. Now, what I find interesting is people really do fall for peer pressure for people that are, let's just say, on the bottom scale or bottom rung. And I see it. I see the game. Like, I've seen the game for a while, and I had epiphanies about this a long time ago. And what's interesting is you see this a lot on social media, primarily on Facebook. And what you see is friends and family, they actually look up to other broke people. They actually really take people that are poorer than them and broker than them, or just as broke, take them absolutely serious. They absolutely follow and try to please, and also really, really pay attention to and try to listen to other poor and broke people, just so happen to be some of them may be their so-called friends. And not only that, they're intimidated by richer and wealthier people. And thus far, they think lowly of themselves. I've seen people. I do DoorDash, so I see people that's rich. I see people poor. And what I find interesting is, like, for example, the ego of a woman that works, let's just say, in Walmart. She had her ego is no different than a high level executive lawyer. It's like it's really, really madness. It is madness. Like, I mean, it is crazy. I mean, just like, I mean, my mind is blown every single day. I swear it is. But this is where a lot of people fall. Like, like, family, friends, like, I do not like put them in no high regard like that, where I'm gonna really be trying to, pay attention to what they're doing and what they're saying. And like, to be honest, like, okay, I don't necessarily, I look at it like this. Like, if you are better than me financially, and you definitely are rich or wealthy, okay, I'll put you in high regard. But what I find, and this is from like people I know and people that I see, they put other broke ass like general people in high regard just because they're part of their peer group. And that shit is funny to me. And this is how they like, and you gotta think, it's not necessarily, this is not the oligarchs and the plutocrats. This is your own personal, like, friend group, network, so on and so forth. Like, you literally, like, you can literally be around people, friends and family, peer groups, online, offline, and you will literally put yourself in a low state by actually taking these people absolutely serious, and serious to the point where you're literally going to try to please them by actually being inferior. And it's like, yeah, that shit that loses a lot of people. Like that, like I said, these are, you're inside my head at this point, and in a sense of, you get where you know how I think, like basically what my philosophy is and how I actually live my life and how I think is, you know, this is what you're getting. Because like I see people literally doing this, like and it's like it's tripped out to me. And it's like these things stop you from growing, they stop you from improving. Like it's crazy. So you just think if you got broke motherfuckers literally pushing you to think lowly of yourself and all that, by the time you get with wealthy and rich people, they will absolutely carve you up and spit you out because you have no chance because you can't even get the broke motherfuckers like to fucking you can't check the broke motherfuckers. So you definitely can't check the rich and wealthy. So let's move on. This is, I mean, this is really, really key. Like, you know, and you got to understand, you know, definitely, I am not a like person, and I did not come on YouTube to be liked. I didn't come on social media to be liked, and that is fine with me. I'm just, you know, all you need to know is I know these people are, you know, in the clouds, you know, that's one thing that I can count on for sure. But another thing, number four, is you're being programmed for pleasure. Now, this is the oligarchs and plutocrats. Okay. Um, so let's go do some digging here. Let's do a little bit of digging here, see what we can come up with. Because I'm gonna show you something you probably already know. Probably already know what's up with this. You know, um, let's see. Basically, when I show you who owns basically the porn companies, the owners of the top porn companies. Okay, you'll see what I'm talking about. Being programmed to push aside your financial success, et cetera, to just be a horny bastard. Okay. All right. So let's see here. Now, these people just so happen to be Jewish. This is not necessarily the point, but these are the owners of these platforms. Okay. This is these are the owners of these platforms. On the OnlyFans owner is a European, Leonid Radvinsky. He's the owner of OnlyFans. Just so happens to be Jewish. It just so happens, right? Pornhub is a rabbi. A rabbi, Solomon Friedman, owns Pornhub. That is very, very interesting because I didn't know rabbis can actually own porn companies and still be rabbis. Um, that's very interesting. I don't really know that much about the European Jews and their practices or anything like that, but um I didn't really, you know, if you look at all of the main three monotheistic religions, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, most of the religious men or the actual, you could say, preachers or the religious leaders, they, you know, talk about what you're not supposed to do and supposed to do. Definitely they're supposed to be on high regard, right? I don't know, you know, if that's something that you can actually do or is considered honorable or anything like that, but nonetheless, this is who owns Pornhub. Tinder, I ain't necessarily worried about. That's not necessarily what I'm dating apps. That's not necessarily what I'm saying. I'm talking about primarily the porn owners, mainly Pornhub and OnlyFans. So I mean, that's just kind of, you know, that's what's kind of going on there. But yeah, you're being programmed for pleasure. You know, fast food, porn, sex. Be a hoe, be a hoe. All of that type of stuff, man. You're being programmed for pleasure. Okay, when you're programmed for pleasure, It's hard for you to, do things like this, right? I keep my notes. I pretty much. It's hard for you to do this when you're programmed for pleasure, and you can ask me how I know that. You can ask me. I'll tell you. But it's hard to run this, right? It's hard to run the 3M system, right? Money mindset, money mindset, money management, momentum when you're being programmed for pleasure. Very, very difficult to do that. But yes, this is by design, right? To be programmed for pleasure so you don't compete. So you be in a state of non-competence, non-competitiveness, right? Being programmed for pleasure. A lot of, to be honest, like, one of the things about the freedoms, the sexual freedoms in the West, right? Because there is, sexual freedoms. It's a good thing, it's a bad thing, right? It's a good thing if to enjoy sex, right? The bad thing is, people can't handle it. Most people, I would say, cannot handle the sexual freedoms that is offered by a lot of different parts of the world. Some places they do not have sexual freedom like that. This has to be in private and under secrecy and all of that other stuff. But here's the thing, right? The people that can't handle it, and you see a lot of men and women. What I was reminded of a rap song. When in the 90s and the late 80s, primarily early 90s. I don't remember who sung this rap song, but they used to give us like little kind of game and stuff like that in these rap songs. I mean, we was young. We technically shouldn't have been listening to this shit, but they used to say, I think it was I want to say it was like it wasn't Sir Mix-a-Lot. It was I want to say it wasn't a DLC. It was I don't remember who it was, but it was a song called Janine's a Dick Fiend. Okay, and that's that word, those two words, like I forgot about that, but it's very, very relevant today. A lot of women are dick fiends. A lot of men are pussy fiends. They can't control themselves, and that's why a lot of men simp out because they're fucking fiends. Sex is a fucking addiction to a certain extent. Everything can damn near be an addiction, right? And being a dick fiend and a fucking pussy fiend, right? You kind of have a hard life being that way, not so much in a sense of you won't have pleasure and you can't live your life and all of that, but you gonna have a lot of issues when in that regard. And you could spot women that pretty much are like that. They are dick fiends. One of the things that Alan Roger Curry, rest in peace, didn't talk about as far as you know the women that you could use mode one on. Well, those women are dick fiends. And that you can use mode one on those types of women. um you definitely can, right? Because they're fiending. They're it was a movie that came out in the late 80s. It was called She's Gotta Have It. And basically that was what the character in She's Gotta Have It was she was a dick fiend. She was a sexaholic, right? She had a sexual addiction. She had no on and off switch. She was always on, right? So the thing is that when you can't control that sexual freedom that is offered, you will be very, very embarrassed. That's just how it goes. Like it's a thing where they give you all of these accessible things, right? But you can get as much liquor as you can buy, right? But if you get drunk, right, you're going to be made fun of, right? You're going to be laughed at, and that's the same things when it goes to sex. You will be harassed when you cannot control yourself. And I'm gonna be honest, and I will definitely tell my daughters, you don't have any control, when it comes to sex. Women have no control. They might believe one of the things that women do not like to admit is the reason I'm a, single mother is because, you know, basically I'm a dick fiend and I caught someone, someone caught me being a dick fiend and they dumped a bunch of sperm inside me and I enjoyed it, and the thing is yeah, you can you basically you're gonna get made fun of, and the person is might be making fun of you, might make a lot of money off of that entertainment. That's just how that goes. That freedom also comes with, if you can't handle things, you will be embarrassed.
Man, now you chose to pick all those men. Unfortunately, you picked the wrong ones and you paid for it. Now you're a baby mama. Now you're a baby mom. And she was talking about.
You didn't have second thoughts. Now you single. You let him hit it raw. You didn't have second thoughts. Now you a single mom. Now you a single mom. You said I'ma have this kid. Don't care if he's here or not. But now you a single mom. Now you a single mom. Now you a single.
I'm not necessarily all the way in there as far as like, trying to embarrass, women every live stream I do or every chance I can get. But guys do that, they make money doing it, and it's a lot of embarrassment out there. It's a lot of shame out there that is it's pretty messed up. And this thing, this whole sexual revolution shit, it's only like what, 60 years old. It's only about 60 to probably close to 70 years old. It's a very new concept. Sex was definitely something that was hidden. United States at one time was um very secular, so you couldn't really do things like that. Alan Roger Curry talked about that in a lot of his books. Talked about that in his book, The Beta Male Revolution. You really couldn't be no player back in 1955. It was no, you could, but it was kind of difficult because you had the dad that you had to get bypassed, and it was very difficult to get past the dead. You had to get past the dead and the mother, but the thing is this: I'm not saying that you should just be holier than thou and not have sex and be an incel or any. This is not my argument. I'm just saying, if you can't control this shit, you don't know how to control this shit, you're fucked, literally. And that's how this society is with all of these sexual freedoms, the freedom to drink, the freedom to get take drugs, the freedom to eat as much as you want to, all of the stuff that comes with that, all of that pleasure. If you can't handle it, you're going to be not in a state of non-competitiveness. That's all you need to know. And the oligarchs and plutocrats definitely, they do have something to do with that, in my opinion. Now you can argue that. This is my channel is an open channel. I am not just a upload only, live stream only with no, um, even if the whole purpose of doing live streams is to have interactions. So you got some people that just do uploads only because they do not want to have any interactions with anybody or critiques, and other than the comment section, I basically dialogue with people. So if you disagree with anything I said, or if you have any thing that you wanted to add, I pretty much, I am not an echo chamber. I can drop the link as faster than the New York minute, and we can have a dialogue about that. But the thing is that, yeah, most people don't understand how they're being punked. They're being punked every single day to believe a certain way. I'm I'm in a situation where I've lost quite a bit of weight and I'm continuing to lose weight. It's not without struggle, of course. But you got a lot of people, man. They overweight, man. They are fucking big backed out. They're on a constant plate cycle of food, and they not going to no gym. They ain't doing no push-ups, no sit-ups, nothing, no jumping jacks. They ain't running. They barely want to walk. And you just got to understand, all you need to know is that you're not competitive. Even if something happened, right, you're cooked. You absolutely are cooked, because you can't even run. How you gonna run? How can someone pick you up and save you out of the fire? All of that type of stuff when you're overweight and obese. You know what I'm saying? And you got to understand, you're being programmed to be that way. You're being programmed to be non-competitive. So let me share another bit of infographic information. Let's see here. Let's go here. This is the largest employer by state. So Walmart is probably, this is not surprising, one of the biggest employers. So you got Walmart, which is, pretty much most of the Midwest, most of the South, most of the East Coast, as well as Southeast. Walmart is the biggest employer, right? Um, then you got Michigan General Motors. Then, you know, pretty much you got a lot of different universities, and couple healthcare centers like Providence Health. Um, and the rest of it is universities, um, healthcare centers, and Walmart. So basically, Walmart is one of the biggest employers in the country. So there, that is, just kind of some information that you already probably know, but just in case you didn't know, pretty much it's just kind of how that goes. Um, so there you go there. So this is kind of interesting, and it's kind of what I'm talking about here. And yeah, I mean, I know people's weaknesses. I don't really point them out, but when I do point them out, people feel bad. They don't really want to talk about it. You know, they want to run away because they don't want to deal with their problems. A lot of people come to social media to run away from their problems, not deal with them.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
But this is very, very funny right here. This guy, this is hilarious. This guy he made some type of like makeshift ATV. Well, actually, he just got an ATV and he's rammed into Teslas. This shit is hilarious, man. I gotta definitely put this on I gotta put a whole bunch of videos up, man. This is some idiocracy like a mug. And the thing is this, right? This dude is definitely going to jail. He's definitely gonna lose some weight in jail. Um, I don't know if how long he's gonna go. Oh, he's in Texas. Oh yeah, he's cooked. He's going to jail for a minute. It depends. I don't really know how much time they gonna give him, but let's just say he probably get like maybe 6 months, maybe 90 days. He might lose about 20 pounds. Because when you in jail, you gonna you basically getting Jenny. When you in jail, you getting basically meal plans. You're getting rations, so you ain't got no choice but to lose weight. You can't just order burgers. Now you can't order DoorDash in jail, right? So yeah, this guy, this guy, man, this guy's got to be about 400 pounds, man. And you got to understand, right? You got to understand. This shit is crazy. you 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 got to understand this, right? I mean, this guy obviously he's most likely a simp. He don't really have no choice. Let me ask you this. Do this guy has any other choice but to be a simp? I mean, I'm just asking. Do you think this guy has any other choice but to be a simp?
If charges. Police in Texas have arrested a man accused of damaging multiple Tesla vehicles, mini four-wheeler ATV. Authorities believe he's behind a string of across the city of Texarkana. They arrested him after spotting him riding that ATV. He's now facing felony criminal mischief charges. Police in Texas have arrested a man accused of damaging.
Every felony you get, man, other than okay, if your life was on a life was on the line or something like that, is a goofy reason to get a felony. This is absolutely a goofy ass reason to get a fucking felony. And then now you in a situation where this dude is a fat broke simp, pretty much, most likely. And now he's gonna be even most likely broker because now he's got a felony jacket on his record. And he's fat as hell. So it's like a lot of times people do stuff for attention because they not getting no attention from women primarily, especially men. When men don't get it, here's the thing, right? And I know this is all relevant, but I just gotta talk about this. When women don't get attention from men, they do certain behaviors. They do certain things. When men don't get attention from women, they also do certain things to get attention. And they start to over time, you got to understand this guy most likely plays video games. He definitely orders out a lot. Um, this guy is not really doing well in life. Obviously, he's frustrated by rich people and people that drive Teslas is, anti-establishment and all of this type of stuff. They're anti, liberal stuff or whatever people think, right, in their heads, right? Damaging Teslas or whatever. I don't really get it, to be honest. Like, I don't really give a fuck about Elon Musk. And I mean, I don't even have a Tesla. I don't have any money to buy a Tesla right now, and I wouldn't go out and get a Tesla to get I'm almost done paying off my last car that I have to pay off. I don't want any more car payments. And I can go technically get a Tesla. I can get a Tesla even not being in, pretty much not really having much. You can go get a Tesla. You can get a car payment as long as your credit is decent enough. Like, you could be self-employed and still get a Tesla or still get another car. I'm not doing that. I don't have to go do that. Like that, I'm gonna be talking about that. That's gonna be, next, or that's gonna be, on this list. But you gotta understand this is weakness. You know, being a fat fuck, is a form of weakness. Being programmed for pleasure. Your mother, programs you for pleasure. Your parents, they constantly give you food. They don't take you to the gym. You know, they don't regularly put you into any type of fitness because they themselves are lazy and tired all the time because they're eating plates of food without working out and exercising, watching TV, watching movies, watching Netflix all day, being brainwashed. And then their children, basically want to go play and want to go have fun, but they can't do anything because their parents are so weak and lazy and fat. They basically push their children to try to be like them because of their habits. And these kids grow up, unfortunately, and then they have these bad habits and they're weak and they don't want to do nothing. They're always, complaining about doing stuff because they used to staying in the house and playing, not really doing anything because it's just kids get really, really easily programmed by their parents. And these kids grow up, man. This is a big ass kid, man. You know, that's he thinks that he's getting cool points by doing this from, probably the liberal black women. Like, I mean, it's tripped out, man. It's absolutely hilarious to watch because, I mean, look at this guy, man. This is embarrassing. This is like a cry for help.
Tesla vehicles. The 33-year-old man.
Yeah, I don't want to hear no voice. I just want to see this dude this dude, this motherfucker is fat as hell, man. God dog, man. Could you imagine this dude, man, if he's like, if you had a chair, if you, let's just say you bought a chair from Walmart and he need to sit down. You know how many chairs he probably has broke in the last like several years? I mean, your little Walmart chair don't have a chance with this guy. I mean, it's just it's crazy, man. But I pretty much killed that one. Let's move on to the third reason. I already got that queued up. Is pretty much education. Definitely education. We could just let this guy just keep playing and just keep running into this car, man, just to show, just for optics, right? But education, man, is definitely one of those things that the plutocrats and the oligarchs do have. Um, they have an edge with their children with education. And you got to understand, like, it's things parents can do to give their children an edge. Let's just say you don't have the money to send your kids to private school, send your kids to the most, you know, upstanding, schools, right? Well, you can self-educate your kids. You can teach your own children, but here's the things that's why people get you. This here takes away from that. Most people are concerned with social media. They're concerned with their friends, talking to their friends on the phone. They're concerned with playing video games. They're concerned with their pleasures and their indulgences. They don't have time. They don't, in their mind, they don't have time to self-educate their kids. So they're lazy parents. So they don't educate their kids. And it's like, well, then now the kids are dumb. They're behind. And then you got to understand here, they're already behind. They're already in a state of, now you putting your kids in a state of non-competitiveness. The kids of the oligarchs and the plutocrats, they already have, a leg up. They already have a leg up because they're educated by their parents, and then they also getting quality education from their school system, whether it be public or private, because the rich and wealthy live in environments where the education is top tier. They don't even really have to send their kids to private school because they the public school system is better than a lot of private schools. So let me play this here. Let me find this here and play this because it's relevant. Let me mute this here. Let me see. Let's see here. Oh. All right, here we go. Let's see here. I think I dropped a link on this particular video. See if it loads up. Well, you know what? I don't have to worry about that. I'll just play it just from this video here. Let's open this one up. And this guy, he's, you know, pretty much I would say a rich guy. He's one of those, you know, he calls himself a liberal elite, right? You know, this guy is probably a poor liberal, fat poor liberal, right? Thus being punked, right, by the elite liberals, right? To be brainwashed, right? This guy, he's explaining why it doesn't have anything to do with no goddamn liberal or conservative. It's rich and wealthy. It's just ain't got. I been knew that. A crackhead told me that, like what 20, almost 20 years ago, almost 30 years ago. It's about the rich and wealthy. It ain't got nothing to do with none of this fucking Republican, Democrat bullshit. Like, yeah, that's if you think that you're fucking brainwashed. But let me play this here.
Our version of Newsnights, and again, educated elite. We have a wonderful audience, somewhat seasoned. And so if a 93-year-old lady comes up to me at the airport, I know what she's going to say. I don't watch your program, but my mother loves it. And so we members of the educated elite did some good things. We created the internet brunch and mocktails. You're welcome. We did some bad things. We designed a meritocracy designed around the skills we ourselves possess and rigged the game so we succeeded and everybody else failed. By age 12, American children of affluent kids are 4 grade levels above everybody else.
That's all I needed that rich man, wealthy man to say. That's all I needed him to say. Okay. I mean, that's all I needed. That's all I needed the old boy to say, man. That's all I needed him to say, man. I didn't really need to play the whole video, nothing. There we go. They're already ahead. And if you ain't doing nothing to get your kids ahead, you're not teaching them, you know, like my kids, I'm already teaching them about business. I'm, you know, sending them business information. I'm sending them, you know, I'm telling them debt is bad. You know, I'm telling them early on so they're not fucking brainwashed out here. You know, like everybody else, they not gonna be getting punked. If they listen to their daddy, they won't be getting punked like everybody else, you know. So number 2, you know, I ain't got nothing else to say about education. I just showed you that man is a wealthy man. He says he's a liberal elite. That's, you know, it doesn't matter. It could be a he could have said he's a conservative elite. Doesn't fucking matter. He's, you know, he's education. They already fucking ahead. Okay. That's all you need to know. The only way you can do it if you don't got money, you gotta self-educate your kids. If you know something, because a lot of times it is people that are highly educated, they just don't do capitalism well. They don't do well in life, and they're smart, but and then a lot of times those parents, their kids do excel in life and do compete. Um, and that's what I'm saying. Like that's the only other option that you have if you don't have the money to live in those neighborhoods or send your children to those high level schools and get your kids high level tutors. You know, if you're able to self-educate them, you should, you know, you probably already are doing that, you know, because a lot of people are like myself, very, very intelligent, very intelligent, and they can teach their children. They just don't. They're just not necessarily rich, right, or wealthy, right, or highly wealthy. Because I am, I am wealthy. I'm just not. I'm just not like super wealthy or rich, right? So I'm working on it. But the thing is that let's just say you broke, right, and you smart. Like at one time I was. You can still self-educate your kids. You can teach them the stuff that they don't even teach in college. They don't teach in high school, right? And they will be ahead. You got to understand they will probably be very, very much ahead because they will already know, you kind of put them up on game when you tell them what they need to know, right? And you self-educate them. Um so number two is um and this is what I talked about earlier. This is brainwash. Okay, I have to put brainwash because it won't make sense if I don't put the solvent. Yeah. Solvent. Okay. Okay. All right. And this is what my whole channel is about right here. For the most part, you're being brainwashed to be popular instead of financially solvent. Worrying about whatever. I don't give a fuck what a broke motherfucker got to say to me about what I should do. What I'm gonna ask is, sir, ma'am, how are you doing in life? I don't want to hear about this celebrity, that celebrity. How you doing? What are you doing? What business are you running? What startup are you working on? What are you doing with your career? Where are you at with your career? All right. So when you ask those questions, oh, you getting too personal. It's get too personal. Well, what are you telling me some shit for? And then you're fucked up, sir, ma'am. Why are you so, why are you trying to be why you think you're Mr. Cool or Mrs. Cool and you're broke as fuck, right? Why you know what I'm saying? These people don't, people like me embarrass these people. They don't come to me, they don't want to ask me any questions because they're embarrassed. Because I can call these people out. I can call these people out and they can't say nothing about me. My resume is impeccable. They can't say shit, because a lot of people are foolish. Very, very foolish, right? So so the thing is, yeah, these are a lot of these people, man. And this why these people don't really like me, because I call out the foolishness, right? I don't give a fuck how popular you are if you broke. To me, if you're popular and broke, you're a fucking idiot. Give a fuck. I don't give a flat fuck. If you're popular and broke, you're a fucking idiot. And I could tell you to your face if you want me to. You're a fucking idiot. And you're being brainwashed to be so. That's all you need to know. This is one of the most richest countries, wealthiest countries in the fucking world. If you can't make no carve out nothing for yourself in this country, good luck trying to go anywhere else. Good luck trying to go anywhere else. If you can't make nothing for yourself here, you're not serious enough. You're not serious, and you're not uh you know focusing hard enough, or pretty much trying hard enough, because this is so many ways that you can make opportunities in this country if you take things serious. If you actually grab the bull by the horns and take things serious, it's so many ways you can make opportunities in this country. If my little broke ass cannot be broke, you can too. I don't give a fuck if it's filling out a fucking a piece of paper. If that's what you if that's how easy it is to do it, you should have been filling that piece of paper out too. If you are so popular, you should be able to make money, and you should be able to take that money, and you should be financially solvent. And this is where people jump off the fucking cliff right here. And the oligarchs and the plutocrats, like literally, yeah, I mean, basically, they got you on that. They got you by the balls on that because you are focused on bullshit and you're not trying to focus on what the fuck is important is being financially solvent. Everything else is fucking noise. It's noise. If you're not financially solvent, you're cooked. You're behind the 8 ball, literally. If you're because being financially solvent is just like that's like step one to work on. You got to understand why you trying to be financially solvent. You got the plutocrats, the billionaires and the millionaire class. They already there. They already past being financially solvent. And you're focused on, your broke ass friend group. You know what I'm saying? You focus on your broke ass friend group and your broke ass family. Man, let me move on to number one. Number one, programmed to be a slave, a abbot. Yeah, programmed to be a slave. Who programmed you? Your parents. Go get a job. Go get a job. Go get a job. They never say go get a job to start a business. They say go get a job. And they don't even know why they saying it. Because the oligarchs and the plutocrats programmed them to say that, to think that way. And then they're teaching you to think that way, to be a lifetime employee, aka slave to your wants and desires. I bought a car. These are things. These are the program. This is the programming of a slave, right? I bought a car. You ain't buy shit, motherfucker. You bought a car payment. You bought a car loan. You don't buy nothing unless you have a title to it, sir, ma'am. You don't have a title. You don't own that shit. Oh, I bought a house. You bought a mortgage loan. And matter of fact, here's the thing. Not only did you buy a mortgage loan, you bought a property basically that you're gonna pay rent to the mortgage company. And you know how much you're gonna pay? You're gonna pay basically 2.5%, 2.5, 2.5 back, whatever you borrowed. If you paid it off on the 30-year payment. A dude on Twitter, 47 years old, talking about I bought a house. If you got a mortgage, you bought a home loan. And then if you paid it off in 30 years, which most people do, you're gonna be 77 years old by the time you pay that motherfucking loan off. You're gonna be 77 years old by the time you pay that fucking loan off.
Message.
And now you see why I'd rather buy a fucking whole house or block or whatever for $10,000 in Gary motherfucking Indiana. Now you see. Cause I ain't want to be talking about I bought a house when I got a fucking home loan. If I got a house and I got a home loan, you would never hear me talking about I bought a house. Cause I don't speak the language of a fucking slave. Because that's the thing. This is what they're brainwashing you to do, to be a fucking idiot. To say idiotic shit while they get richer and richer off your stupid ass. Saying dumb shit. I mean, I'm kind of in my feelings a little bit. I'm a calm down, man. I'm gonna try to calm down, man. This shit grinds my motherfucking gears, man. I swear to God, this shit grinds my gears, man. Cause you gotta understand, man. I took a I took a motherfucking stance about what? Almost 20 years ago. And it was a stance of I'm going to basically be a financial expert. And in that journey, I learned how the rich and the wealthy, primarily the oligarchs and plutocrats, program you to be a fucking idiot, to be a slave, to be a lifetime slave. And this is not, I'm not trying to say all got people as employees are slaves. I'm not saying it. Like if you got a job and you working it, like I was working, and I still had my startups that I was working on. I was still, selling on eBay and stuff like that. I'm not talking about those people. I'm not talking about people that, are employees and they do other stuff and all that. I'm talking about them motherfuckers that's still trying to punch the clock, and they just one job, one trick ponies. I'm talking about those types of individuals. Now, that's okay if you're a CEO, if you're a CFO of a fucking company, if you're an executive and you making stock options, you got stock option package, you got, 401k matching, you making over 100,000 a year, whatever, blah, 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 company card, company, credit card, company car. Yeah, that's you're still a slave, but I mean you're a high price slave. You're basically getting paid a little bit of money. If you're doing it, it's not even about how much you make. It's about what you're doing with what you make. Because you can, like, basically, here's the thing, like, you can work a job and then basically flip real estate on the side. You can work a job and swing trade or day trade on the side. It's gonna be hard to day trade working a job. You could probably swing trade and make another $100,000 a year, or 10, 15, between 10 to $50,000 a year or more. Possibly even transition to just being a full-time investor once you make enough money from working a job. You can work this employee quadrant. This is Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant. I added some things to it. You can work this employee quadrant and work this bottom one, self-employed, investor side, transition to business owner. You can do all that from being an employee. But what a lot of times what people do is they're just lifetime employees. Now, here's the thing. If you're programmed and you're comfortable just to be an employee, okay, just to take the insults and just take it. It is what it is. That's what you like doing. Okay, you're a fucking worker bee. I understand. A lot of people are worker bees. You're programmed. We need the worker bees, right? Without the worker bees, there'll be no pollen. Okay, I get it, right? I'm not even talking about you. I'm talking about the people that they're so much of an employee and they're so like messed up that they can never be anything else because they got mountains of debt. They got mountains of bills that they can't, possibly get out of working a job to fucking, basically do anything else. Like those people um are literally slaves, because you got to understand it's very simple. If you really need your job and you're not trying to do anything about that, meaning you basically got way more expenses than what you even make. Like you so maxed out, you damn near living check to check, and you're not doing nothing about that. You got to understand. You got to understand 100% that you're a slave in that situation, because you need that job. That job lets you go tomorrow, you're cooked. You got no savings, you got no investments to rely on, you got nothing but your job. You're cooked. You absolutely are cooked. And if you don't, a lot of people, what they do is they keep to themselves and they pretend and keep up appearances and all of that type of stuff with a bunch of other broke people, obviously. And they don't do nothing about it, and they just suffer in silence. And it's like, it's something that could be done about it. You can reach out to someone. I can help you, But if you don't believe I can help you, then you're cooked. You're already cooked, so just stay cooked. And you don't reach out to anybody else, and just stay cooked. And the thing is like basically somebody like myself, I can help you get out of that. You probably ain't gonna want to hear all of this stuff, but basically, you get you a budget, you're gonna have to cut some shit out. I'm gonna tell you, I'm literally contact me. I'm gonna tell you, you gotta cut. I'm gonna look at what your expenses are. Oh, you're gonna have to probably cut that, man. Yeah, this ain't no joke, man. You want your kids to be fucking on welfare? That's my question. I'm gonna ask you. You want your kids to be in the welfare line? No, I don't. Okay, well, you're gonna have to cut this out. Maybe is there something else you like doing instead of watching fucking cable all day? You got a dog? Why don't you walk your dog for a couple hours a day instead of, and then just basically instead of this, just cut it out, just get Netflix or what do you like? You like Hulu or Netflix? Whatever. That's what I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna carve out your fucking budget for you. I'm gonna give you recommendations. And then I'm basically going to, look at your credit report, get you on a debt snowball plan. And then I'm going to ask you what else you know how to do besides fucking punching the clock. Oh, you know how to cut grass? Okay, get you a truck. Let's get you a truck. Let's look for a truck. And then let's get some lawnmower equipment. And then, basically Saturdays and Sundays is going to be your day that you're going, try to cut grass and do landscaping for money other than what you make from your job. So you can make extra income so you can pay down your debts and then save more money for your emergency fund, because everybody should have emergency fund. Basically I'm going to just you gonna get my book too, because basically that's part of it. And we gonna try to work on these steps and saving try to get you to $1,000 or more, and then work these steps. That's what I'm gonna do if somebody contacted me with those issues. But people will rather be cooked. They'll rather be cooked, right? I don't even care. You can call Dave Ramsey for all I care. You can call anybody, but they don't call anybody because they just rather be cooked. And you understand you're being programmed to be a slave. You're being programmed to be cooked. It ain't about no white people, it ain't about no racism, it ain't about no FBA, it ain't about none of that. It ain't about where your people from and you a tether. It ain't nothing about that. It's about you being cooked. That's what it's about. You being programmed to be thinking a certain way, and you being thinking that it's no way outside of you being cooked. And that's what that is. And I mean, I did this live stream because I kind of had a thought, and it was like, you know what, I gotta tell these people what I know, and kind of like, just explain to them, what they dealing with. And you're just being punked, right? And it is no other person that can change that but yourself individually. And then once you change, you help others, and you try to form Voltron and try to stop other people from getting punked. And I mean, that's all I pretty much have to say, man. I don't have nothing else to say, man. It's just a short little video. I know it's tough medicine. I know you probably offended and all that, but it has to be said. If I don't say it, nobody else will. And not too many people will. Okay. So that's that, man. I ain't got nothing else.
I'm better than all of you, and I'm not tolerating anything broke this year. I'm not tolerating broke people, broke thoughts, broke responsibilities, or anything broke.